This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
And then Eddie aligns himself with his nephew Chavo, and they form the tag team Los Guerreros. And in contrast to a previous WCW storyline, Chavo fully agrees with his uncle about their slogan, "We lie, we cheat, we steal," but at least we're honest about it. And to push this new tag team, a series of vignettes are produced, which include things as the two finagling their way into a rich lady's house and throwing a pool party. And the segments really are a shot in the arm for the audience. The popularity of this team on the other side of these vignettes is hilarious. This feels like this is a Vince idea. Is this Brian? Is this you? Are you there for the shoot? What can you tell us about these?
No, I didn't do the shoot. As a matter of fact, I think Adam Panucci might have done the shoot. But it was guys at the studio that did it. And we just had this idea of Eddie. You know, what does Eddie do? He lies, he cheats, he steals.
Right.
And you think about it, to get ahead in the world, sometimes you have to lie and cheat and steal. So the audience, you think that that's going to be a heel character, and you think that people, they lie, they cheat, they steal. Well, I think most people could identify with that and fell in love with them all over again, because they did it with a smile on their face and a gleam in their eye that what they were doing was right. And what they were doing is, man, it's okay, man. Everybody knows we lie, we cheat, we steal, man. We love you. It's okay.
It's great skits. The pool inspectors who just want to party, the parking valets who just want to go on a joyride. The duo enter the 8-man tag team tournament for the tag titles. They're going to sneak past Rikishi and Mark Henry in the opening round and then start a feud with the newly formed tag team of Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. In one of the team's definitive moments, Chavo tells Benoit that his former friend Guerrero was assaulted by his tag team partner Angle. Benoit runs to make the save, only to have himself locked inside a room. Guerrero then appears in the room and assaults Benoit with a chair. Benoit and Angle manage to overcome their differences and eventually defeat Los Guerreros in the tournament semifinals. And later, of course, Benoit and Angle would win the title. And Benoit and Angle fight for a trophy for being the first time tag team champions, but much to their surprise, Los Guerreros help him win the match. On November 7th, 2002, WWE World Champion Brock Lesnar pins Eddie Guerrero in a non-title match in 6 minutes and 41 seconds with the F5. This is their first match together. Nobody could have probably predicted what this is going to look like a couple years later, huh?
Yeah, actually, I think they could have, because I think it was the way that Eddie worked with Brock and the way that Brock worked with Eddie. They knew how to work with and for each other. So it was essentially the first time and looking at it going, you know what? This could work, because Brock was able to accentuate Eddie's positives and vice versa.
At Survivor Series, Los Guerreros win the tag titles. Guerrero makes Mysterio submit to the Lasso from El Paso to win their first tag team championship.
Where's your lasso come from?
And they turn due to their popularity. So they're big baby faces now. They're ultimately going to drop the belts to Team Angle, which is Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, in early February on SmackDown. And they start a feud together, and both teams find themselves in a match at WrestleMania 19, along with Benoit and Rhino. They're all vying to be number one contenders for that tag title. Ultimately, they do not wind up victorious. Haas and Benjamin win that triple threat. They get a rematch at Backlash, and Los Guerreros lose there again. But along the way, Chavo tears his biceps, and that forces Guerrero to look for another partner. He chooses Tajiri. And believe it or not, they win the tag titles. So this is Guerrero's second title win. They win it at Judgment Day against Team Angle in a ladder match. Why was Tajiri the right substitute for Chavo?
I think that his entertainment value, and that Tajiri was able to express his emotions through his facials and through his physical, how he reacted. Tajiri, man, come on. He was absolutely one of the best, and they fit. It was like peas and carrots. But during this time, there was a incident in San Diego with the Guerreros and Haas and Benjamin. Good Lord, man. I went back and I'm sitting there thinking, shit. They're all pissed off, and I think that Charlie and Shelton were in the locker room, and Chavo and Eddie went in, and I don't remember. I think it was Chavo going in and Eddie having his back, but long and short of it, they came in to fight, and everybody knew it, and someone had told me, and I headed off Chavo and Eddie at the pass, and there was a glass door into the locker room there, and they just kind of end-arounded me and got in. And it wasn't really a fight. It was, I think everybody got in between them and cooler heads prevailed. But you talk about a scary fight. Four tough guys, legit, 4 shooters, and 4 guys that could definitely go. So I'm extremely grateful that cooler heads prevailed and I didn't get my ass kicked in the middle of them kicking each other's ass.
Let's talk about Tajiri and Eddie. They even work a tag match at Madison Square Garden against Roddy Piper and his protege at the time, Sean O'Hare. Man, if you're an old school wrestling fan, which obviously Eddie was, he had to be tickled to be working Roddy Piper at Madison Square Garden. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah. I mean, Roddy and Chavo, holy shit, had a tremendous rivalry in Los Angeles when Eddie's dad, Gory, was promoting Los Angeles. So the Guerreros and Piper go way, way back. I think Piper, very much like me, was an honorary Guerrero and vice versa. So a thrill, and they knew each other well. There's a lot of respect on both sides of that fence.
Let's talk about what we're doing next though, because it's sort of weird that we see the singles run doing so well with Chavo injured. He's had a title win. He's feuding with John Cena, but now that Chavo's back, we're making them a tag team again. Los Guerreros were over, and they're actually going to pick up the tag team championship again from the world's greatest tag team. And Guerrero's a double champion in the process now. He's got the US title, but he's also got the tag title. This is his 3rd tag team title run. When he's in the middle of this hot singles run, is he hesitant at all to team with Chavo, or because it's family and it was working, let me try to do both?
Do both. Because out of love, Eddie wanted to work with his nephew, and it was working. It was something that was fun, and it was also something that the audience was craving. So you get double the Guerreros, and everything can stay the same. You can still keep Eddie in the singles picture and put Chavo in there. And it was great for Chavo as well. I think it elevated Chavo tremendously. And it was something that, if you were to ask me, the audience was kind of clamoring for it. They liked the Los Guerreros.
4 days later, Los Guerreros lose the tag titles to the Basham brothers. They start a feud with them, and they fail to regain the titles at Survivor Series. And that develops a little bit of animosity. The relationship starts to go downhill. Eventually Chavo attacks and turns on Eddie after he suffers a beating at the hands of the Basham brothers. So now we've got a bit of a feud that's going to involve, Chavo Jr. is going to be joined by his father, AKA Eddie's brother, Chavo Sr., who we're going to learn to call Chavo Classic, which is just great stuff. What can you tell us about Chavo Sr. and their feud? Of course, Eddie gets the win at Royal Rumble, I guess, to settle the feud, but Chavo Classic, this is good stuff.
Well, it was. And Chavo Classic is really the first Guerrero I ever knew. Then Hector, and then Mondo. and then Eddie. So Chavo and my brother were very tight. I ran with Chavo Classic for many years. I remember pitching Eddie and saying, "Man, what's your brother doing?" And he says, "Oh, man, he's in great shape. He's working Mexico. He's working Japan." He's like, "Fuck, he's still working?" And it's like, "Yeah, he's doing shit." He was in San Antonio and threw out this crazy idea. And Chavo Classic did not leave the first time he was in WWE on the best of terms. And it was an opportunity for him to make amends as well. So enter Chavo Classic. He was fucking great because it was the real life father-son dynamic with Chavito, and it was the real life big brother with Eddie. And then you also saw that dynamic of the roles reversed, where now Eddie's the megastar, kind of overshadowing Chavo Classic. So it was some very interesting times, but they are probably some of the most fun times that I ever had as far as working with these guys, because I loved all three of them, and they were just a blast.
What can you tell me about, I like the whole Los Guerreros story, but they only have one match on pay-per-view. Like, it feels like to me, you could have really stretched out this Chavo Eddie thing, right?
Yeah, but I think we did. I mean, we did. It went a long time on television, and with Chavo Classic and all that shit intertwined into everything.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.